Welcome back to the Lost Love Stories, where we share the beautiful, messy, real journeys of love and loss. I'm your host, Pam Baker, and today I have my very, very, very good friend, Lauri Robinson, joining us today, and she's going to share her story of her husband, Pat, and just the ways that love continues long after loss happens. And yeah, let's just get into it. I'll just give a little background on with me and Lauri. I was actually friends with Pat. Oddly enough, our boys played lacrosse together in high school, and Pat and I were on the lacrosse board together. So Lauri was always the team photographer off in the field. So we didn't ever really get a chance to hang out, which is so crazy. We missed a lot of years that we could be like BFFs.
I know.
I know, but Pat and I worked well together, and he was awesome. And yeah, so then I'll just let you. And now now we do all the things together. So
I know.
I don't want to say yay because the circumstances aren't yay, but
It's not, but
it happened.
hey,
Yeah,
we found what do you say? The friends
friend you never knew
we
you needed.
yes.
Well, welcome, Lauri. I'm so happy to have you here sharing your story with Pat, and just give us a little background about you guys, how you met and how the love story started.
So first off, thanks for having me.
Of course.
And Pat and I met at work, of all things.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first met, he worked on the floor above, and we had the concession, like, vending machines on our floor
Hmm.
down below. So he would come down and hit the vending machine and walk by and be like, "How you doing?" And he said it to me, and my roommate lived
Hmm.
in the spot next to me. He'll always check in, on his way by. And funny story, she asked him out to a baseball game and
Oh.
asked me to go.
Hmm.
And I
She was interested in him.
she kind of was, like, we
Okay.
were.
Okay. Hmm.
But she also asked another guy, so she was like, "You have to come with me." I asked 2 guys. So we went to a baseball game, and it was, like, one of those nights where it was just so fun, everything was going. Well, it was a nationally televised game, and somehow Pat and I were having a great time. They zoomed in on us.
Uh-uh.
Everyone
Oh my God.
saw, and they were like, "Are you guys dating?" We're like, "No, we're
Oh,
not dating. No, we're not dating." I was there with her, whatever. Long story short, we hung out as friends for a long time,
mhm,
and then it was just one of those, like, I don't know.
mhm,
It Another woman at work said, "I want you to meet my son."
mhm.
So I said, "All right, it's your turn. You have to come with me to this."
Uh-huh.
So she went with me to that.
Okay.
They met.
Oh,
They ended up together.
oh my God.
Pat and I were together, and we got married a year apart.
Oh my God.
So
That's
that's our story.
that's a very cool story. I didn't know.
But
Oh my God.
anyway,
That's so fun.
but we were married for 31 years.
Mhm. Oh
I
yeah.
was a
Show us the
baby.
picture. I see him back there. You're
Oh,
s like a
there
love
he is.
picture. There he is. Hi, Pat. That's such a great picture. Yeah. So
Mhm.
okay, and you guys were in Maryland.
We were in Maryland,
Mhm.
and we got married in 91 and had 6 years before we started having kids.
Uh-huh.
We
Mhm.
just did everything together. We were I don't like, he was we did everything together.
Mhm.
So, we worked together, not directly together, but at the same company. We did intramural things like softball and bowling and all the leagues and everything. We were always involved in all that and just had the best time.
Living your best life.
We
Yeah,
were
that's
we
so
were. Then when we had a family, I stopped working and he continued on.
mhm.
And then we ended up moving down to Atlanta for his job here. So,
Okay. Thankfully. Thankfully. Meant to be for us. Okay. And so then, I don't know, what do you think, what do you think was the thing that drew you to him from the beginning? Like what piqued your interest?
His sense of humor,
Oh,
obviously. He
oh,
was
yeah, he was very funny.
he was very funny. He knew how to get people laughing. He knew how to right off the bat. He
Mhm.
put people at ease with his sense of humor. So
Yeah,
he was funny and witty and just sweet and like I don't know. He had a way to like engage with everyone. Didn't
mhm,
matter what you did or what he
yeah,
could talk to anybody.
he was
So
good at that. He was definitely good at that.
he
Um,
was good.
and then you guys have your 2 kids.
He had a daughter
Mhm,
from his previous marriage.
mhm,
She was 4 when I came in the picture.
yeah,
And then we have our 2 kids, and now his daughter has 2 grandkids. I mean, 2 kids,
kids, your grand
our
yes.
grandkids.
Mhm,
And um, our kids are 28 and 24.
mhm,
So it's crazy to
yeah,
think how all that happened. And um, the cool part is, and backstory, in 2007, we moved to Atlanta. He was diagnosed with head and neck cancer,
mhm,
and we went through all that together, and it was tough. And he was a trooper. He recovered from it, went back to work, but then realized when he was at home recovering how much he was missing out on.
mhm,
So
mhm,
he only did a few more years of work and retired early. And then we had that quality time. I
yeah,
thank God for that all the time because then he ended up not dying from cancer, but getting sick from something else and passing away from pneumonia, from complications from being sick with a lung condition. So
yeah. Talk
it's
about that
crazy.
a little bit, like, when that all happened and what that looked like and where you guys were, like
We were, it was Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving of 2022.
mhm,
And we had gone up for Grandparents' Day and we made a joke even that we had all 6 grandparents at Grandparents' Day. We're very close with everybody.
mhm,
And everybody was there. And he was the only kid that had, like, more than 3, and we had all 6 of us there. And we came home from that trip, and he must have caught something while we were there.
mhm,
By the next day, I was rushing him to the hospital. His lungs were completely full, like, it happened fast. And then he was in the ICU for 37 days and
mhm,
then passed away, December 29th.
yeah,
So, it was rough, but, they ended up running out of he was immune to all the antibiotics that they tried, so he ended up being immune to they
yeah,
ran out of them.
yeah.
So,
Oh, it's
it was terrible.
yeah, it's so terrible. It's so terrible to in that predicament anyway, just to know you have just out of options. It's
Well, he had been rotating antibiotics for years and years and years,
yeah,
so he always knew that could happen,
yeah,
so they rotated them so that he wouldn't become immune to them. But his
yeah,
body was just shutting down, so
it's terrible.
it's terrible.
Yeah. And I know for a minute there because wasn't he was intubated?
Yes.
Yeah. And then I know talk about what JP did for his way to help him communicate
Oh
and
my gosh. So my son, it was so frustrating because he really couldn't talk. He was mostly in a coma for most of the time. They were able to bring him out to explain to him what all was happening and what he was going to decide to do, but he couldn't communicate. So JP, just brilliant, took a piece of cardboard, made a keypad that was big because he couldn't move his hands either. Long story, but
uh-huh.
so we could hold his hand and be able to, like, move his finger, and then he would stop it,
Mhm.
to the letters, which was amazing. So he could spell out words and, funny things, like, we would ask him, like, "What do you want?" And he was like, "A beer and a cheeseburger."
Please. Immediately to the idea.
But
Oh my
anyway.
Well,
He
that's a
was
huge
still
gift.
had the sense of humor, like
Yeah, because if you didn't have that, if JP hadn't thought of that, he's just in there not able to communicate that, but
right.
you got to have that gift of knowing that he's actually really still in there. He's
Oh,
in
he was.
there. And then, which also probably brought some comfort knowing that he could have a better understanding of what was going on because that had to be scary on the inside, with him not knowing and then just being able to communicate and know that he's understanding that.
Oh,
That's a
it
big
was
deal.
huge, and, like, he didn't realize how long he had been out,
Mm.
and he didn't believe us at first. He's like, "Show me a computer," like,
Wow.
he didn't.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about, and then once we started talking and communicating with him, it was great because he had that final
Mm.
time with them, like, he did an individual with each of the kids.
Oh, good. Yeah.
It was terrible, but,
Terrible, but also
a
such
blessing.
yeah,
Yeah,
such a gift.
so
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, what are some of the things that you like when everybody's around together, your favorite memories or favorite pat isms that you just gotta, you want to hold on to these ideas, you want to hold on to these memories and share them with the grandchildren who may
right.
experience them or won't remember them.
Well, he he had a lot of them,
Mhm.
but some of the fun ones, which are not, it's funny, but if he would get annoyed with us,
Mhm.
he would give the jaw, like, and the kids name it the jaw, like, to this day, they're like, "Oh, that's the dad jaw," like, "Mm." So, he had so many different things, and he was always like, before, like, it was a thing, he would always be like, "That's what she said." Like, just the silly things, but he always had it, and it was so quick, it was faster than
The
and then you're
witty.
like, "Oh my god," yeah.
Mhm.
So, but there's so many things, and the kids still to this day, like, we just tell stories all the time.
Mhm.
So, um, and with the grandkids, he used to dance like the when you're going by a tire shop and there's, like, the inflatable balloon guy.
Inflatable.
He Yeah, he used to do that, and he would imitate him, and so the grandkids would be like, "Oh, look, it's G-pop." Well, then after he passed, it was kinda sad because they were like, "Oh, it's a G-pop," so I showed up for Halloween as one of those inflatables, and then they were like, I was putting them to bed, and that night, little Ryan goes, Gigi, can I be G-pop too?"
So it's not even the costume, it's the G-pop.
It's the G-pop, and
Mhm.
thank goodness for Amazon. The next day, we had G-pop costumes for everybody, and we're all out there doing the dance, and it was just it just made it, like, full circle.
Mhm.
So and
Well,
then it's not so sad anymore. Hmm.
exactly. That'll be definitely one of those things that you can do that'll be I can just see that being passed down through the generations
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
the
G-pop.
G-pop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever. That's awesome. I love that so much. I love that.
so,
I love that. Those things they matter, because that's how you keep the stories alive. That's how you keep their spirit and their memory alive, just by sharing
yeah.
things. And when you have an actual physical thing that you can be wearing and
Oh
imitating,
my gosh.
it like cements it. That's so huge.
And
That's
Ryan was young when it happened, so I worry that he won't remember a lot, but I think that helps carry on.
for
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. That'll be one of those things for sure. We have this thing, I just said it to Duncan the other day with John. He would always say, like, if you did something without being told, he'd be like, awareness plus one. Like you get a bonus point. Oh, and if you didn't do something, like it's like the trash is overflowing and you
Right,
go throw something back in there, he'd be like, awareness plus one. Take out the trash. Use the
right.
like, and so we still say that all the time. I'm like,
That's funny.
Duncan brought up a stack of towels off that needed to go up into the linen closet the other day. And that's what I said. I was like, Duncan, you did the towels without being asked. Awareness plus one. You did it. So that is one of our Johnisms for sure that will always be
Aw,
forever and ever an awareness. Just raise your awareness. Look around.
it's
Hmm.
I love that.
I know. I know. Well, and Pat had so many great things about him, and I talk about this, and I'm going to talk about this on every episode because it's something that I experienced so personally. And I say John was, revered like Pat in the community. People knew him; they were very involved in their kids' activities, sports, the whole community. But they weren't perfect. They weren't like saints, And so I remember the first time somebody came up to me and they were telling stories about John, and it was like when he was actually a jackass. And I just started laughing. I was like, thank you so much for telling a real story because he could be an asshole. Like
Right.
he wasn't that often, but we all can be. So let's
Right.
pretend that that part of you didn't exist. So, I mean, and sometimes those stories are really funny, and sometimes they're just like the things that would just drive you nuts. So,
Right.
I know you have some. So, what are some?
Oh, there's a lots. I won't share most of them, but there's so many, and I mean, obviously, when you're married for 31 years, you have
Mhm.
fights and you have, like,
Mhm.
issues, but, um, we had well, this was back when we were trying to get pregnant, like, he was, like, so we had troubles getting pregnant, 6 years, like, no kids, we tried, then we had, some oops on the way, and then we had the last one, we did 6 inseminations that failed. So
Wow.
he was like, "I am done. Like, we're done. We're
Yeah.
done." He had 1 in college, 1 in diapers. He's like, "We're done."
Oh my god. Yeah.
And I lost it, and I was like, "No, we're not done. We're not done." And he was like, we're done." He was finance guy. He's like, "Pencils down. We're done." And I'm like, "Ugh, okay." So we go on with our lives. I'm like, "Whatever." I had said I always thought I'd have a girl and a boy. He was like, "What makes you think you're gonna have a boy? Like, you could have another girl." I go, "I no, I'm gonna have 2. It's gonna be a girl and a boy." And he's like, "Okay, whatever. She's crazy." So we move on, and it happens, I guess, all the time, but I got pregnant on my own, like, that next month.
The next month.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
And he was transitioned to a new job. He was in a different town. Like, it was like, we
Oh,
don't know how it happened. It happened.
you willed it.
And
You willed
I
it.
went to him while he was about to do a big presentation, and
Oh my god.
I told him right before, I couldn't help it. I was like, "We're pregnant." He could not even function. He
Oh
was like,
my god.
"This is not happening. This is not happening." Like, and he was like, "I don't believe it until we see it." Like,
Mhm.
so I'm like, "What do I do? Like, how do I prove this?" I had, like, multiple tests. Like,
You're like, which one do you want? Which stick?
and he's like, "Not until you go to the doctor, not till we see a heartbeat." He's like, "I don't believe it." I was like, "Ho oh my gosh." And I'm so happy,
Yeah,
and
you're like,
he's so, like, he had the jaw.
mhm, yeah, the
He
jaw.
had the jaw. So, anyway, this wasn't a huge fight, but it was just, like, one of those, like, "You've gotta
Yeah.
be kidding me." So then we go on, and there was JP. Like, my
Mhm.
son, I can't imagine our lives without him. Like,
Angel baby.
Pat adored him. Like, it was just but it was, like, one of those, like, you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
and that wasn't a fight. I mean, we've had our fights
Yeah.
before, but
But it is
that
one of
was
those where you're like, "I'm so happy, like, get on board here."
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was so, like, I don't know what to do with myself when
Mhm.
he was, like, not happy,
Yeah.
and I removed myself, and we went on that night to the thing, and I think he just was in shock mostly.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but
I love it because it is like you're like, "We'll see about that. We'll see if I don't have another baby." Yeah.
it wasn't I have no idea. After doing all that, I was like, "There's no way I'm getting pregnant."
Right,
And
right.
so
Yeah. I mean, that's such a hard journey anyway. Any of that stuff is just, so hard. It's so hard emotionally. I did it with Sabrina with in vitro. Oh, thank God it only took one round because that was just it's such an emotional journey.
it
So
is. It
it's
is, and your
mhm.
your emotions are just all over the board, and then for it to actually then happen, you're, like,
Yeah.
so happy, and
So awesome.
anyway,
Love it.
he
Well,
had to redo the spreadsheets after that.
you had to pick the pencil back up and go back to work. I love it. That's a perfect past story. I love it. I love it. Well, you went through all the cancer originally. You went through that whole journey. And, he did have other health complications, but then when this hit, obviously sudden, unexpected, and and so grueling, I imagine,
Right.
to be
It
ICU.
was terrible.
Well, that's just grueling. So when you're processing the whole circumstance, but as you're going through the circumstance, um, and then obviously you weren't even in the worst times, I'm sure you're not like, this isn't how he's going out, this isn't our end,
Right.
it's so unexpected. So take us through that a little bit, and then like as it's all happening, and then you're how you're managing life once he did pass, and managing the kids, and just trying to figure out how this new version of your life was looking and happening, and how you just managed it.
It was crazy times,
Mhm.
as you know.
Mhm.
Um, no, towards the end, I'll back up a little bit. Like, with Pat, if anything if anybody went to him for something and he wasn't, like, totally on board, or if he was totally not on it, he
Mhm.
did need, like, time to process, a minute to process. And
Mhm.
when I say a minute, sometimes it was 5 minutes, sometimes it was a day.
Okay.
Like, he just and then he would come back and he'd be, like, all ready to talk, but
Mhm.
he's brilliant. Like, he just that's the way his brain worked.
Yeah.
So when they presented to him, like, that he was gonna be on a ventilator, and we already had our, you know, um oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank.
Advanced directive, is that what
Yes,
you're
thank you.
mm,
Advanced directives and his wishes. He did not wanna be on a ventilator, he did not wanna be kept alive, like, he
uh-huh.
was very specific about it, and we went through they brought him out of the coma to explain everything, and it was just like him. He was like he typed out, "I want 24 hours to think about it,"
Uh, yeah.
and he and oh my gosh,
God
I
had that way to communicate that. Thank God.
I know.
Mhm.
So, and the whole time I'm going, "Oh my god, I couldn't do it. I don't know what I would do," like, so after the next day we went in and he met with them and he just said, "This is not what I want," like, and it crushed us, but at the same time, I know he didn't wanna live that way, and it would have killed him to live that way, like, that wasn't what he wanted. So, um, it's just crazy that he did it that way, and it was on him because the whole time he was in the coma, I was you have the guilt of saying, "I don't wanna be the one to make that
Can't even
call."
no.
So, the whole time and I have 2 nurses for daughters, like, the whole time we were trying, like, everything that we could to, like, get him transferred, get him moved, like, get different doctors, and every week you got a different doctor. Like, it was every 2 weeks you got different doctors. It was just it was a lot. So, but it also prepared us for what was about to
Yeah.
happen.
In stages, I'm sure, like,
Yes.
marching you toward that.
Right. So, and what's crazy is right at the very end, Christmas Eve, he had, like, a bounce back. He was more awake, and we were like, "Oh my god, he's gonna
Well,
make it."
yeah.
And then the next day, he got a fever and his lungs filled up again, and that was it. And then, like, a few more days, and that was it. So, it's kind of crazy how it transitioned, but, and then after that, the kids it was rough.
Mm,
Like, they were adults, but they were still kids,
yeah,
like,
yeah, very
processing.
mhm.
And it's hard, and I wasn't ready for it. I've He's done everything for financially, for running the house, like, I'm the fix-it person, I will fix anything that's broken, but I don't run the household, like, financially plan for the future, all the things, like, done that way, but luckily, he had it all in place and it helped, and we just rolled with it, but it was a lot, and then for the funeral, like, he's like, "I want people to celebrate. I don't want it to be sad," and so we were like, what do we do?" We did a service that mostly was telling Pat stories, and then we rented out a restaurant, and we had bar and food, and everybody was laughing and telling Pat stories, and it was beautiful, and I couldn't imagine any other way, and I think he would have been so happy how we did it. And then after that, it was like, "Okay, now what?" You know?
Yeah.
And you move on and all the things, and kids had to go back to their lives, and, like, it's kind of crazy how it works, but you process, and it's overwhelming, the grief in the beginning. You don't think you're gonna get out of it, and then slowly but surely, it starts
Yeah.
to fade. Not fade, but you learn how to grow with it.
Yeah.
So
I like to call it like you learn how to live with it in a healthy way because it doesn't go anywhere.
right,
It isn't so front and center, I think,
right,
after, with time. And it's,
right,
but you do figure out how to incorporate it in a
right,
in a healthy way, ideally in a healthy way to help you to move forward with living your life without being stuck
right,
in the grave. Yeah.
right.
And so,
And
yeah, go ahead. Mhm.
oh, well, like, our son was in college sports at the time. He had to go back the next day after that
Oh my God.
service and
Mhm,
go start his season. So, everything we do, we would always say, "Well, what would he want us to do?"
mhm. Yeah.
And he would wanna be at the games. He
Yeah.
would wanna
Mhm.
so and here's another crazy, and you know this one, but when he towards the end, we always said, how will we know you're around?" And he was a big Baltimore Ravens fan, and he said, "A raven. Look for a raven." And I tell you, you've experienced it.
Yeah.
Everywhere we go, there is a raven that will just show up aggressively
Like, here
and be like, "Here I am. I'm here." And it that helps,
I am.
which is kind of weird. Some people think I'm crazy, but
Love it because it's like everybody says the Cardinals and, you see them in that, but you got your Raven. You're like, "That's
here's
mine."
here's a raven, and can I tell the story?
Yeah, yeah.
We Pam and I were in Montana, and it was our anniversary.
Mm.
It would have been our 34th anniversary. She left to go to the bathroom. I'm standing outside in the middle of were we in Yellowstone? Where were we?
I think you're in Yellowstone.
Yeah, Yellowstone.
Uh-huh.
And this raven just comes up, flies in, lands right in front of me. I have a video of it, and just comes right up to my feet. Like, and I'm like, "Well, hi, happy anniversary." Like
And
it
everybody around is like, "Crazy lady." But no. No, that's right. You were
but
like,
those little things I think help, I don't know.
because it does make them feel like they're right here with you, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
And the day of the funeral, I'm not lying, like, we walked to the church and we're like, "What is that noise?" And it's up in the tree, just cawing, like, and we're like, "Oh my god, he is here." So,
Awesome. I
anyway,
I love it. I love it. Well, it's been coming up on 3 years.
coming up on 3 years.
Mhm. And so how has your path gone in 3 years? Like, I think there's a lot of growth through grief. There's growth through, challenges in life. If you choose to grow, you don't always choose to grow, but
Right.
I know that you have. So
Mhm.
what do you think are some of the biggest ways you've seen, like, a change within yourself? Like, what are some things you're just really proud of yourself for? Maybe you didn't think you'd ever be in this position versus that position, or
Right.
just your own growth through the grief. What have you seen in
Well,
yourself?
n number 1, the finances.
Yeah.
I learned how to do that. Number 2, um, just getting out there. Like, for the first year, I was in autopilot, and I just traveled to my son's games, and I tried to, like, be there for everybody and do things. and I wasn't okay, but I did it. I functioned.
Mhm.
So, but I met this group of women,
Who are they?
the Widows Who Whine, who Pam fabulously created. And I have a great group of women that are such a support network of ladies that'll just be like, if it was like a Friday night, weekends were the worst.
Yeah, agreed.
So
Mhm.
Friday night, all you'd have to do is put a text out there that'd be like, who's up for going for like tacos?
Mhm.
And you'd have 5 ladies show up or whatever. Like it was just amazing. And they weren't there to like boohoo with me. They were there to have tacos and
Maybe a
talk about
margarita,
the week. Yeah.
right?
And a margarita or wine.
It's our wine.
Yes. But that was my biggest, so thanks to you. Thank you. Um, that was my biggest support. And then family and friends who also made an effort to travel to my son's games and do things and honor Pat. Like they would always come show up and we'd talk about Pat and we'd talk about stories and Pat would have loved this and, things like that. So it's that and then growing as far as like that first year, that was basically surviving. And
Mm,
then the second year was finding out who I was.
yeah.
And then this year, I basically was like, I'm going to reinvent myself.
Yep, that's right.
So
And so, yeah, what are you doing with that? What are you doing?
I started playing pickleball, started doing more things for me.
Mhm.
So I last year I was trying to I started a business. I did all the things that I thought I needed to do and then I was like this isn't what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I do some of the things, but I don't
Mhm.
continue on with most of them. And then just
Yeah.
started playing pickleball and meeting new people and
Yeah. Just
it's
being happy, finding
yeah,
finding joy, and you're obsessed with pickleball. You do love it. You
I do
like
love it. And I've met so many people through pickleball and my son started playing with me this summer, well, last summer,
Mhm.
and then in the spring, and he was like, "Mom, you do so much with people that you didn't even know before
Mm.
Dad." Like,
Isn't that
I'm
crazy?
like, "It's kind of crazy, but it evolved, like, it just happened." And
Think it's really important because we know because we've met so many widows through Widows Who Whine that a lot of people tend to get stuck in their homes. They're like sitting there, they don't know what to do. They feel like if they experience joy, they're not honoring their husband. They're like, they if they don't miss them every moment, they're like they didn't love them enough. There's all these
right.
emotions mixed up in that, and we all know logically that they don't want us doing that. They want us living our lives and being happy,
But
and
it's hard.
hard because it feels a little disrespectful, or like you don't deserve it, or you shouldn't be happy because they're not here.
Right,
So yeah, it takes a lot of courage, I think, to get back out there, and I think that's why a lot of women don't. They don't, and so I mean, obviously, that's one of the reasons why I started Widows Who Whine, because it gives you those other people who are in the same journey to go do
right,
that stuff with. And once you're doing it with other people, it makes it become more normal. It's like more commonplace in your mind.
right,
I can go do this, by myself too. I don't need a whole posse to be there. I love the posse,
right,
but don't I can go to a gym and meet new pickleball people.
right.
I can build other circles too. So
And along those lines, we experienced as a group with the women that we've met through the widow
mhm.
group. I'll never forget the first time one of them had to buy her their first car. Like,
Mhm,
it's emotional and it's a hard thing to do on your own
mhm.
without somebody to talk to about it, and, like or go planning trips.
Yeah,
I've never spent money on trips without consulting somebody about it. So,
right.
the first time I booked a trip, I was like,
Mhm.
"Do I need approval? Like, I just do this?"
Me too, yeah. It
And
is.
I did it, and then, you know, it's kinda crazy, but it's good to have that support, and
Mhm.
then
It's like easing you into it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. so you can
So
fully embrace things. Well, that's awesome. And, you know, is your little teddy bear right there with you? Because
she's actually asleep now, but I will show you.
I know, I'm like, you gotta, for those of you who watch the video, you gotta see this, her latest little source of joy. That's only a new addition to the family, little Georgia.
This is Georgia.
Yes, and tell us about Georgia.
Georgia's Cavapoo. She is 12 weeks old,
She's so
and she
cute.
is so it's funny because my dog, our dog, family dog, was 13. She passed away a month after Pat died.
For
So I just was not ready for a new dog. Everybody's like, "Get a dog." And I was like, "I'm just learning how to take care of myself." Like, not yet.
right.
And then this year was the year of like, "All right, it's time."
Yeah.
So I got her, and she is an angel. And my daughter watched her last Friday when I went out of town, and she goes, "Mom, she's so good." And I said, "I know." I go, "What did I do to deserve an angel?" And she goes, "Well, Dad and Lily sent her, our other dog." And I just died. I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet."
She's so sweet. Oh, I love that. Oh,
So,
well,
but
she's an angel. She's
here
an angel.
she is.
Look at her. Oh my God. She's so cute. Well, just another big source of joy too. I mean,
Oh
just
my gosh. And
joy.
the kids are excited, like,
Mhm.
they all love to see her and find out, like, they want updates every day.
Of course.
So, it's just another it's bringing us closer together, and after Pat died, you become closer.
Mhm. You do.
I don't know if all families do, but
I don't know
ours
either.
sure did.
Yeah. Same.
So
Yeah.
and it was a lot of, "Don't listen to what everybody else is,"
Mhm.
just focus on us right now
Mhm.
kinda thing.
What each of you needs in the moment,
Yeah.
all different.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
each person processes differently.
Right.
Yeah. To be in it together and just respect your space and respect the way that you're processing and
Right.
try to keep everything on the rails in the meantime. Like
True.
that, as you know, in my family. But they're all here and happy and oh, it's so
It's so crazy to see, and you don't think in that when it first happens that everything's gonna be okay, but
like ever again.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's never gonna be the same, it's gonna be different, but it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So
It will be. It will be. Well, I love all everything about this, and I want you to you're a blessing in my life and just a
aw,
great a silver
right back at you.
yeah right back at you. You're a silver lining in this whole journey that we both shared too, and it's just been awesome to have you on here and just a true testament that grief and joy can coexist. It's not one or the other. They can happen. It's grief and joy, and I think our goals. My goal is always to like have the joy way outweigh the grief and honor the grief when it comes, but
Right.
don't live there because it's not healthy.
It's not healthy. Yeah.
Anybody, and that's not where they would want us to be.
No.
Yeah, and so with that in mind, like, do you have any little morsels of wisdom or thoughts or any takeaways on your own journey from grief to joy?
Mine is always just to honor them and talk about them, not
Mm.
stopping. And sometimes you'll run into people and they're afraid to talk about them. So you can bring it up first, and then
Mm.
they're like, "Oh, she'll talk about it."
Yeah,
Like,
without breaking down because they're
yes,
afraid of that too.
yes, they're afraid you're going to just burst into tears. But, and it's been almost 3 years, and people are like, "I'm so glad you're out."
Uh-huh.
I'm like, it
Yep,
better be out after 3 years.
gonna be out.
So,
Clean your
but
team. Hmm. Yeah.
it's just, I, we constantly talk about him.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, and I think that's awesome because it is like we're not trying to forget them. We're not trying to
mm-mm.
move on.
No, I mean, pictures are up, like,
Like,
yeah,
yeah, no, they're
it's
here. Their energy's here. Their memories are here. The ravens are here. They're all around.
Ravens keep showing up.
Uh-huh. Oh my, this is a funny story. I mean, a perfect example. I was just talking to Beanie, my daughter, and she was she and her boyfriend were talking about John last night,
Oh.
and they had this big long talk, and she was like, "Oh, I wish that my dad, you got to meet my dad." And she was like, out they were outside, and right then a giant shooting star, and that's like her thing with him, a giant shooting.
Oh.
And she was like, "Oh my God, did you see that?" And he didn't see it. And she was like, "I take that as a sign of approval."
Oh, that's so cute.
It's so good.
I love that.
I know. So yeah, they're
They're around.
you just, keep your eyes
Yeah.
open and they'll show up
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But well, thank you so much. We could talk forever. And
We
we do.
could.
We do also talk forever on but
Yeah.
but I'm so glad that you came on and you're great to share your story and
Thank you for having me.
love Pat and love your family. I think you're great examples of how to do it well, how to live life's journey well, and with
Well,
lots of love and lots of joy too. So thank
thank
you
you.
so much. Thank you so much for coming on. Um,
Thanks.
all right. Well, thank you guys for listening to the Lost Love Stories. If the conversation touched you, just share it with people. Let people know that love continues. It's always there, and you just look for it. Like we said, look for it in the signs that are all around us, and just believe in it. And even through the loss, even through the grief, it's there. And until next time, take care of yourself and take care of your heart. Thank you.